Hello, everyone. This afternoon, I have the one, the only Brett Baker with me, who is probably who I think single-handedly holds a record for most Zooms in his car of anyone I've ever encountered. Just this guy's constantly on the go. But today, we're talking with him a little bit about um, his real estate experience, his journey, and how he ultimately ended up on Chime, and why he decided that running his business through Chime was the right decision for him. So, Brett, if you would indulge us, give us a little background about yourself and your real estate experience.
Right. Let's start with before real estate and we'll work our way through because I can make this pretty fast for you. I was not always in real estate. In fact, I actually had no desire to go into real estate. Uh, that was kind of one of those things that, my family was in real estate pretty much my whole life growing up. That was the one direction I swore I would never, ever go. Fast forward a few years, I was an air traffic controller with Federal Aviation Administration for 10 years ish. I finally got myself to a point where I was at a facility where I was super, super bored. I went from really, really, really busy facilities like LAX, Anchorage International, and I ended up in Eastern Washington, which when you go from working 2,100 airplanes an hour to 41 airplanes a day, and you're a super type A person like I am, a very high D like I am, you end up going really crazy. And so I went into real estate. And the thing is, I didn't want to just get into real estate just to do real estate. If I was going to do it, I really wanted to go all in. And so before I even jumped into real estate, I studied a lot about real estate and what real estate agents were doing, how they were generating business, etc. And I came across a few trends along the way. One, in the area that I started in, when I bought my house there, I called 5 listing signs. One guy called me back 2 days later, and he happened to be the top agent. So I started thinking to myself, okay, great. If I can return calls faster and I can be on top of leads faster than 2 days, that's all I have to do to take the top spot. Got it. The next thing that I figured out was all the websites that were being used in my area. The IDX websites really were not that good. And those that did use them used their brokerage websites more than anything else. A lot, what would be the equivalent today of like KW Command.
Sure.
And so I watched a lot of that happen. And then, I started looking at the marketing efforts of these agents as well. And they were all over the place. I mean, people using Gmail addresses as their email addresses, and just wildly unprofessional marketing, in my opinion. And so that's really how I dove into real estate. And it was very much what I call a shock and awe. Um, I was not in the market one day, and the next day I was everywhere. I launched with a hot pink brand. I was completely unmissable. You could not see me. And so that really launched my career. My first year of real estate, I landed a spot on the Real Trends Top 250 list. I held that into my second year as well, third year as well. Fourth year, I started kind of reeling back a little bit and started helping other agents succeed a little bit more. And then I ended up selling my business. And so that was very interesting to be in the business and then selling the business. As it turns out, one of my buyer's agents, she turned around, started her own company, and she has been ranked consistently in the Real Trends rankings as well. So that's really my brief kind of go-to. Someone that came into real estate, saw that there were their challenges, found out how to address those challenges, and then how to quickly move and build a business very, very quickly. And like I said, my plan was to be able to take that business and turn around and sell it, and I did that.
So, yeah, I mean, that I think is generally the goal for a lot of people in this space, is to get into real estate, grow the business, and sell it. But that generally takes place over the course of a lifetime, right? A lot of people spend, years, if not decades, building their business and then ultimately selling it. You did it much more quickly. So what kind of role did technology play in that scalability? Because you don't scale something like that using Excel spreadsheets and
No.
your Google contacts.
I think a lot of people don't understand how much systems come into play. When you go to sell a business, you're not selling anything other than systems and data. And I know that there are going to be people that argue with me, and that's fine. I'll let them argue with me all day long. I'm the one that sold my company in 3 years. Um, my business was sold for the data that I had collected and the systematic processes that I had in place. Bottom line, that's just how it happens. So what role did technology take? Took a huge role, because I couldn't have done what I did if I didn't have systems in place, automations in place. I think a lot of agents look at their current business and they say, oh, okay, well, I'm doing pretty well. I want to start a team. Great. So they go out and they bring on a bunch of buyer's agents. And my favorite is they go out and they get ISAs. And I think the ISA model is so dead because it's not scalable. What is scalable is automation. The reason that an ISA model is not scalable is because it cannot scale as leads increase. So let me give you an example for that. Let's say that you're going from yourself, a single agent, and you're doing about 20 leads a month. Then all of a sudden you're like, I want to build a team. Well, to do that, you have to be able to give your agents consistently more leads. In order to follow up with those leads, a lot of team leaders will say, well, I have an ISA model in place. Okay, well, an ISA can only follow up with X number of leads for so long and continue that conversion effectively. At some point, that ISA will get overwhelmed, to which the business owner will say, great, I'll hire another one. But then that person's going to hit their limit and it's going to have to hire another one. And the problem is revenue does not follow that scalability. And so at some point, usually about 72 months after the initial ISA is hired, that model no longer becomes profitable. The use of automation, I'll use Chime, for example, because I'm a huge proponent of Chime. The automation that Chime produces, I can scale indefinitely. When using smart plans that Chime has, I obviously made my own smart plans that I put through Chime, but using the Chime AI assistant and the smart plan feature, and even the transaction checklist feature, I can automate most of my business. Now, why that's critical is when you're automating a lot of your business, you can scale indefinitely. I could put 50,000 leads at the AI bot, and it's just going to keep floating away, doing its thing. I can have 50,000 leads in a smart plan, automating my drip, doing voicemail drops, automated texting, automated emails. All of that can all be done automatically. It's indefinite scalability, which overall will increase your profitability, which makes you a lot better in the eyes if you're looking for an investor or if you're looking for someone to turn around and buy your business.
Mm-hmm. Awesome. So how did you, what kind of turned the light bulb on and made you look for Chime and ultimately decide to run your business on Chime?
I'm what's known as a habitual technologically, how would I word this? I am habitually looking for new technology. And it's really bad. Like some people say, they're like, I have an addiction to this. Well, I have an addiction to technology. I am always searching out the next greatest thing. And so I was using Real Geeks, and I had about 40 different zaps with Zapier running my Real Geeks business. And when Zapier would go down for like an hour, my entire system would collapse. And so I had to find a way to kind of get around that. And so I looked at every option out there. I've been with Boomtown, I've been with Sync, I've been with Real Estate Webmasters, I've been with what's that? There's like 4 or 5 other ones. Firepoint. I've been with everything. I've used Follow Up Boss. I've tried everything under the sun. And so I got so frustrated that I was about to build my own platform because I could not find what I was looking for. And then I ran into actually one of the guys from Chime, and they were like, dude, you really need to check this platform out. It's everything that you have just listed off to us. And I always do it, it's always like, yeah, whatever. It's not, but that's cute. And I actually fought it for probably, I'd say a good 6 months before I finally tried it out. And I was like, this is a game changer. And sure, like any newer company, any new tech company, sure, there were initial problems with growth, right? And I'm going to admit that. But what's crazy to me is that Chime is focused so heavily on improving user engagement and improving the usability of the platform, that it has actually made up for the initial onboarding struggles that we had.
Sure. So tell me about some of the features or what you saw after about 6 months that made you say, okay, this is worth a try.
It was actually kind of funny because I, at the time, had a friend who had switched to Chime, and he goes, "Hey, check out my website." And I registered, registered on his website to see what I would get. The thing that actually did it for me, believe it or not, was the picture, the basically the pictures in the emails. I was with Real Geeks at the time, and Real Geeks didn't have property photos in their listing emails, their property alerts that would go out.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, there were workarounds for it, and I had done workarounds for it, and I tried A/B testing for a long time on it. And anyways, that was something, that first email that came across to me, I was like, whoa, as a user, as a lead, holy crap, these look good. And so then I dove into the website a little bit more. And of course, I asked my buddy, I said, hey, is there any chance I can just get like your login just so I can go see the backside of things before I even, I don't want to sit on an hour-long demo. I just want to go poke around in the back end and see what I can find. And he's like, do whatever you want. So I actually logged in the back of his site. I actually never had a demo with Chime,
Oh, wow.
because I just got into the back end and just kind of did everything on my own.
Mm-hmm.
And that was really, the emails were the thing that
Mm-hmm.
actually got my attention. And then what really actually forced me to switch was the amount of automation that was all built in. And I think a lot of the sticking point for a lot of people will obviously be price point. When you see someone coming over from like a Real Geeks, they go, well, I'm spending $199 with Real Geeks. And it's like, yeah, I was spending $199 with Real Geeks too. I then had to use Zapier, which was costing me $49 a month. I then had to use a dialer, which was costing me $149 a month. I then had to use all of these extra features that racked my bill up. And it was funny because when I actually looked at how much I was spending to have a Real Geeks platform that had the level of automation, that the best level of automation that I could do, that would come close to Chime, that was not Chime, but it was close to Chime. I was
Mm-hmm.
at like 1550, $1,600 a month.
Mm-hmm.
And so actually switching to Chime reduced my overhead capital by like 60%.
Yeah, tremendously so. Yeah, I'm obviously biased, but it's those details about the user experience with email opens and click throughs that will absolutely make or break your business. I can
Yeah.
say that we routinely get feedback from clients saying, I have such an astounding open rate. People respond to my emails that I didn't even write. It's really a tremendous strength that oftentimes goes overlooked because people assume that open rates and click-through rates are all the same, which is demonstrably not true.
Correct.
So cool. Now, because you've been on Chime for a while now and you know the program pretty well, what was one of the unexpected benefits that you got out of Chime?
Oh man, unexpected benefits. Where do I even begin with that? I would say, I mean, I knew the level of automation that Chime had. I don't think that I recognized at the time the power of the AI
Mhm.
and how much Chime has improved even over the last year with the amount of technology that they're putting forward as far as automation is concerned. I knew Chime was, you were able to automate most of the process with Chime. What I
Mhm.
didn't realize until I dove really, really, really deep into it was how much
Mhm.
technology was involved in Chime. And that's the cool part is the amount that they have grown, even I'm going to say in the last year, how much Chime has grown over the last year as far
Mhm.
as technologically advanced, um, is mind blowing. So the unexpected benefit actually came from the amount of re-engagement on my leads. I know that sounds kind of weird the way that I just worded that,
Mhm.
but when I was on Real Geeks, I actually had, I mean, we're talking tens of thousands of leads, tens of
Sure.
thousands of leads. And when I switched over to Chime, what I noticed immediately was my, how many leads that I thought were dead came
Mhm.
back and started searching again. And I couldn't put my finger on it. I was like, okay, well, what the heck? What did I miss something here? And what I actually found out was that Real Geeks had put in place some form of filtering where if a lead didn't come back to the website within 2 weeks or whatever, or didn't open an email within a couple of weeks, it would actually remove them from the property drip. And so when I switched over to Chime, one of the things that I noticed totally unexpected was all of a sudden those people started getting emails from me again. And when they started getting those property drips from me again, they started coming back to the website. With, I think, my first week, and I don't have the data in front of me because I'm literally sitting here in my car, but like the first week that I switched over to Chime, my engagement rate was up like 650%. I mean, it was stupid how many more engagements I had. My email open rate was the highest it had ever been at that point. And so I think the unexpected benefit I got switching to Chime was the re-engagement of some of those leads. And it's funny because my first month back with Chime, you think about it, it takes 30 days or so to close a deal. So my first month wasn't really like, it was busy, but my second month with Chime, I closed more deals that month than I had closed in the 3 months prior.
And that was largely because of some of these quote unquote dead leads coming back to life.
It was all of those dead leads that had come back to life. The dead leads that had come back to life that we all thought were just like goners. They weren't coming back to the website. They weren't opening emails. Well, they weren't getting the emails. And so all of a sudden, Chime starts sending out these beautifully designed emails to them with property drips. And all of a sudden they start re-engaging. And I even had a lead reach out to me and say like, hey, I haven't heard from you in a while. Thought you left the business. Like, you thought I left the business? Have you not seen these hot pink cars driving around and stuff? But they thought that I had left the business because they stopped getting my property updates. So, I mean, it was unexpected, but the first month I was just busy following up with everybody, watching the automation, building out the Chime site. Second month, all those closings that happened actually ended up paying for my Chime site for the next year.
Perfect. That's what we like to hear. So I'm going to wrap kind of two questions into one.
Okay.
If you were talking to someone who's considering Chime, or if you were talking to someone who had been with Chime in the past, let's say 6 months or longer ago, and quit, and were considering coming back, what would you say to those two people?
Okay, so first, for the people that are considering Chime, there are a lot of options out there. There are tons. Trust me, I've tried all of them. Maybe not all of them, because there are new ones that pop up occasionally. I've tried most of them. The thing is, you can look in different price points and find anything that you're looking for. Heck, I ran a WordPress website for a while and I converted off of that. The trick is with Chime, it's what I call buying your time back. Okay. And so as busy agents, we have to focus on money-making activities. Despite what a lot of people believe and what a lot of companies will tell you, following up with leads actually doesn't make you money. Closing deals makes you money. Showing houses makes you money. Taking listings, going on listing appointments, those things make you money. Calling leads, doing 100 calls a day, that doesn't actually make you money. So it tees up the lead, but it doesn't actually make you money. If you can automate those tasks as much as humanly possible with voicemail drops, automated texting, an AI assistant that's going to reach out and try to engage that lead for you, you have a better chance of making a higher net profit than you do if you try to do all that on your own. And so if you're thinking like, I'm thinking about going to Boomtown, I'm thinking about going to Real Geeks, here's the deal. Chime falls right in the middle of those prices, okay? If you're going to try to automate Real Geeks, you're going to have to use an outside service for the automated texting. You're just going to have to. So that's going to obviously push you over the edge and actually make it more expensive to use Real Geeks than it will to use Chime. Give Chime a shot. It truly changed my business. I talk to people all the time that have said like, dude, Chime has changed my business. For those of you that have used Chime in the past and have left, you probably left for one of three reasons. Randy, I hate chucking Chime in front of the bus, but sometimes I gotta keep it real, man. So Chime had a support issue for a while. And what had happened was all of a sudden people saw what an amazing platform Chime had, and they all jumped over to Chime at the same time. And the problem with any business when you have a massive influx of people really quickly, your support suffers. Bottom line, they did not have the amount of staffing to handle. It's kind of like what happened when like coronavirus hit and everybody started jumping on Zoom and Zoom was crashing like every day. It was the same principle. Everybody switched over to Chime, and then the support started falling through. Onboarding suffered. That was one of the main reasons that a lot of people left and didn't want to stay with Chime. The other reason was, they wanted to go to a cheaper option. I encourage those people that went to a cheaper option, look at your conversion rate now versus what you had when you had Chime. I guarantee it's going to be smaller. It's going to be a lower conversion rate. It just is. Chime does such a great job. The third reason was they did not understand how to use the platform. That's basically, those are your three reasons. If you don't understand how to use the platform, there is Chime training available from outside sources. Chime's training that they offer internally is good. I actually run a Chime training course myself to help agents just like you do a better job of understanding the system. If you understand the system, it now becomes an asset in your business. So that's basically it. If you've thought about using Chime, give it a whirl. Their support is phenomenal. The product is phenomenal. If you had Chime in the past and you left for one of those three reasons that I just mentioned, so much has changed at Chime. And if you don't understand how to use a product, don't just leave a product because you don't know how to use it. Learn how to use it, and you'll be surprised how much of an asset that becomes. And if you left, come back, give it a whirl again. I think you'd be surprised. Maybe Randy, I could talk you guys into giving him a discount, please.
Don't twist my arm. Don't throw me in the briar patch.
Come on, dude.
We'll cook something up. You'll cook something up? Hey,
can I call you out on it?
If you call me out on it, what does that mean?
Can I come up with a deal for them?
Can you come up with a deal? Okay. Brett can come up with a deal, but we need we also need to have a certain number of people come back. If X number of quitters come back, then you get a special deal.
Wait, back up. So hold up. This is for people that were on Chime before that have left Chime. And yes. I didn't come up with a deal, but we have to have a certain number come back, right?
Yep.
Can you tell me how many?
If you can get 15 quitters back.
$1 setup, $1.99 for the first month.
It's a deal.
Wait, are you serious? That actually worked?
I'll shake on it.
Damn, I should have shot lower.
Yeah, you should have. You know what? I was actually expecting lower. I would have expected lower, and I was ready to come back and negotiate higher. But
I really should have shot lower on that one. Oh crap, guys! I'm sorry,
but too late now.
Dude, that's $200, and really, when you think about it, that's still cheaper than Real Geeks. I'm sorry. I honestly didn't think you were going to go for that. I thought you were going to shoot back at like $249 or something like that. So, but I guess I should have shot lower and seen if you'd go down even lower than that. But 15 people, $1 setup, and then $1.99 for the first month, and then it goes back to regular pricing. I will help out with that. And I will help out with that if those 15 people come back, I will give them my Chime Mastery training. So if you come back through, and I don't know how you want to do this deal, but Randy, just to help you out and help those people that are coming back, I will give my Chime Mastery to them on me. So that way, they can learn how to use the product from someone that uses it all the time, that knows it inside and out, and it's taken from a real estate agent aspect. Mm-hmm. So I'll do that too to help you out, because I know you're losing your shirt on that one, and I have a feeling your manager is going to kick your butt.
Yeah. This is definitely an ask for forgiveness, not permission moment. But let me point this out though, very important. Yes, we offer Chime training from a Chime employee's perspective. That's going to teach you how to use the system. What Brett's perspective offers is why, right? The motivation, the results. This is what he was trying to achieve in his real estate business. And so he got there by clicking these buttons, right? So it gives you a completely different perspective. that comes from the real estate background instead of a technology background. So super huge value there. And if you didn't know how to use the system before, getting this training for free is going to completely change your perspective on the platform.
Hopefully people will take good use of this. And we have a lot of people in the training as is, and anything that we can do to help you guys out with learning the process a little bit better and maybe learning a little bit different than you did before. Hopefully that'll help you guys out. And Randy, I'll make sure I get you guys like a product code or whatever for that, so we can get that out.
Awesome. Absolutely. Well, Brett, thanks for your time today. I appreciate it. Again,
my pleasure.
Catching you in the car, always a good time.
I'm always on the go, man.
busy. It's a good time to be in real estate.
Right.
Awesome.
Well, cool.
I'll catch up with you next time, Brett. Take care.
Take it easy.